More music on trendybeats.com. More music on trendybeats.com. More music on trendybeats.com.
Thank you.
So we have something now. I said we have. Have you seen the copies? Yes.
Sir.
Hello. GCU. GCU.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, students. Welcome to the first Future Leaders Conference of the Government College Evangelical Christ Association, taking place under the auspices of the class of 1988. Sponsorship from companies and entities established by members of the class. What companies and entities where members of the class work. Our interest here is simply defined by the name of the conference itself. It's the Future Leaders Conference. By way of introduction, my name is Henry Ifeduku. And my colleague here, who was my classmate then, is Greg Agbara. Both of us will be anchoring this program with slight modifications and circumstances may dictate. Before anything, we want to first say we welcome you warmly to this occasion, all our students that are here and our teachers, and we thank your schools for releasing you to be part of this event. Now, to keep the ball, to set the ball rolling, we want to invite to the high table some of our guest speakers who are already here. Because of the respect she commands in our house and in the minds of all distant persons, and on account of age too, and so many qualities that define her, those we shall speak to much later, we want to, with one applause by all our students here, welcome Dr. Mrs. Veronica Ubwangu. Welcome. Students is outstanding. Welcome. A leader in our midst. Not an ordinary leader. Trailblazer, she Welcome. So please be seated. Also here in our midst, we are privileged indeed to have one of the strongest academic voices in this country. He speaks to issues as they should be spoken to, and he has captured our attention. And to that extent, he's here as a keynote speaker of this conference. Please, may we, with warm applause, welcome the respected Professor Sonny Awefa. Students, welcome the train of GCO College, the train of the ship, the man of high environment. Welcome. And it will be interesting to know that Professor Awefa is my neighbor. Married my sister, and indeed, the wife is also a professor. Wife is a professor of law. We are at the University of Benin at the same time. We've done so well, and I'm indeed proud of my sister. Thank you, Professor, for all you do. And when we are putting this together, I strongly recommended somebody, without even calling him, without talking about him. I told our chairman of the organizing committee that if we can get him, the students will benefit immensely. He's a professor of innovation. When you talk of technological innovation, we call his name in this country. Young professor, very respectful and assuming. He's a professor of innovation. He has done a lot of research work in energy and other areas of study. So, kindly join us to welcome with warm applause Professor Gosling Ofola. Students, go without saying, he does not come very well. Thank you so much. Welcome. Thank you. You see, let me just tell you, the government college, we respect character. That is what we were taught, and that is what this conference is all about. At the beginning, when some names were mentioned, I'm a politician, but when it comes to certain issues about character, we don't play politics with it. So when certain names were mentioned, probably would have seen a lot of big politicians here today. But we said no. We put our feet on the ground and said, no, we want people who will not play politics with this conference. We want people who speak to the issues and help us to actually show the future leaders the pathways to the future. And we're indeed happy to have you. While we are here, he helped to shape us. A very kind man, a very good man, a product of government college, also one who we call our daddy. Please welcome Pastor Winston Egoje, our teacher. Pastor Winston Egoje follows as the Secretary General, man of God. Welcome, sir. Thanks for shaking us. Thank you. Please be seated. I said, it's Pastor Wilson is also the Secretary General of Government College Food Boys Association worldwide. Worldwide. When you talk of worldwide.
Right here in our midst, we have the president of Government College Ugedi Old Boys Association, home branch, which is Ugedi branch. They are the base. Without them, we cannot move around. As you see, Government College Old Boys Association as a global organization, the home branch is always the host. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put hands together and welcome Pastor Ogilu.
So as other dignitaries and school students, teachers come in, we shall be announcing them. But by scheduled time, we respect. That's one of the things GCB program. But the weather has been levels, so we respect what the weather has imposed on us. So we rise up for the national anthem.
And the mention of GCU, GCU, 1980.
So we will just for those one college. to join us as we sing the Government College Anthem. First stanza. Right. So, did you see you? Thank you so much. Now, because we want to say, just simply, now that we are young, now that we are still yes, productive, let us use it to spread the word. Let us use it so. Thank you. Because is open address, open prayer, and wish to call on to lead on.
Shall we pray? Father, in the name of Jesus Christ, we God in heaven, King of glory, give you praise and adoration for the day like this. Thank you for all the lives of children that here. We, for this program today, we ask, O Lord, the program, give us the spirit of guide our thought. Help us at the end of everything we shall have cause to give glory. Thank you, Father, for getting in Jesus Christ's name.
The people of God will say, Father,
So please be seated. So next on our agenda, our chairman will be giving the welcome address. Our chairman, Engineer Frank, was the husband of two us in our time. He was the best leader of our time. For every social event that we wanted to participate in government college, Frank was not 20 years ago. Frank was not the leader. Frank was not our ladies group. I don't know why. But there's something to all people. We were all used. Why they were Frank was not the same. But today, and the program to celebrate the round of applause. Distinguished guest, esteemed speaker, school leader, teachers, fellow marina, dear students, ladies, it is with great joy and humility I welcome
the maiden edition of the Future Leaders FLC Right, hosted by the government Old Boys Association class of 1988. This initiative is not just a concept, it's a legacy. It becomes a forward direction. One out of our desire to give back to our and more importantly, to inspire the new generation of leaders who will shape the future of this great country, Nigeria. The theme of this charting vision for leaders of is a call to action, a call to think, a call to dream, and to act beyond limitation. A call to pursue excellence, integrity, and service. Our goal is simple but profound: to spark something that will outlive. We want every student to leave this auditorium more informed but more important. To know that greatness comes from but about what you do with what you have. This program brings together business minds, visionary leaders, educators, entrepreneurs, professionals who have come to share things that motivate and wins with honesty and purpose. This program brings we are proud students not only from the JD, but also host students from government notable foreign institutions across the country. Your presence here and the shared commitment to building better tomorrow. So our fellow Nigerians, more particularly the thank you, thank you, thank you. You have shown that true sacrifice, you have shown what true sacrifice and this will never take your time and your generosity. You have proven it louder than ever. So our great speaker and supporter, thank you for believing in the future. You are investing in the future of the entire. Let me also thank you, National Executive Council, ably represented by Pastor Ibu, for their blessing, also the principal and part of government for embracing this open hands. Finally, to the students, I urge you to ask questions, take notes. That was notebooks conference we have. Take notes that will shape your being whole days for the future to yourself and the world. If you don't belong to school, prepare for you. This is your time. Make history together. Thank you all and welcome.
Thank you, respected chairman. Very innovative. And next on our agenda is the remarks of the Government College Old Boys Association National Executive Council. But to do that, there's no other than our daddy, Pastor Missy.
Good morning, everybody. It's not everyone that honors there are many who say, I have more important things to do. That you are here today explains our concerns for the young ones. Because we are actually in a country at the moment that is in dire need of committed people who are interested in the future of our children. Last night, the President General called and told me he's supposed to be here, but has some unforeseen commitments to attend to this morning, and asked that I should play whatever role that he's supposed to put in place here today. I want to thank the boys who are organizing this program. You know, you never grow up to be bigger than your father. I particularly appreciate it because I had to nurture them when they were here. But there are some of them I have seen that I couldn't recognize because they are returning here for the first time since they graduated from this place. I want to thank you for your commitment to all that is happening in the Old Boys Association. We are glad to acknowledge that over the years, you have acted to our cause to give back to your old school. That government college is what you see today. At least whatever beauty of the environment you have been able to notice is as a result of the effort put in by the old boys to ensure that the place does not go into collapse. I want to assure you that your contributions towards the success of the 80th anniversary that was celebrated in January are noticed and highly appreciated. I won't say much because I still have something to say later. But I want on behalf of the President General of the Old Boys Association Worldwide, congratulate those who are organizing this program, and to welcome the students that I see in front of me, especially the ones that are come from other schools. You are making sacrifice. But I'm glad it is sacrifice that will put something to your lives. It is sacrifice that will make a difference tomorrow. And I pray that sometime in the future, someone here will look back and say, I thank God I attended this conference. Thank you all. And I know that all of us who are here shall be blessed from what we are going to do here today. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Daniel Oje, for ably representing President General Worldwide. We want to go directly now into presentations. First, to make the presentation here today as a keynote speaker will be our well-respected Mrs. Sonia Wilford. But I just want to read a summary of his profile, which is already in the material, one of the materials. If you don't have it, you will ask the ushers to please distribute it. The program. I can see that the government college students don't have it. You are hosted with it, but it's not what happens. Professor Sonny Awefada is one of Nigeria's highly regarded public intellectuals, academics, and newspaper columnists. Sonny Awefada took a BA in English and Literature second class upper division from the University of Benin, the Masters of Arts, and a PhD from the University of Ibadan. He's a professor of African literature, focusing on how the history of Africa has impacted on her literature. He has served as Dean of the Faculty of Arts, Delta State, University of Africa, where he was the University Oracle for many years. He's now Dean of the School of Postgraduate Studies. Professor Awefada was editor of the prestigious The Guardian Literary Series. He writes a weekly column with the Daily Independent newspaper. He has also served many think tanks and delivered many public lectures. He's married to Professor Ufoma Awefada, that's my sister, a lawyer, a university doc, and they are blessed with children. So please let us welcome with a warm applause for his presentation today, Professor Sonny Awefada. Thank you.
Good morning. The chairman of a class of 88, Engineer Frank Airoboye, other members of that class, my co-speakers, the highly respected Dr. Professor Veronica Ogwagu. With us here this morning is a deputy vice chancellor who actually chairs it in the university, Professor Ofualaga, and myself, former dean of faculty and now dean of postgraduate studies. So we can confer that title on you. The recognition of the phenomenal achievement you brought to bear in the education sector in Delta State. I didn't know you were going to come. I discussed with somebody this morning, and my brother Prince said that people also told him that the kind of thing you did when you were in national education remain unparalleled unto this moment. And when you came into this hall, you didn't come to the front. And there, with all humility and sense of decency. And I felt very happy with one thing, because when I came in, I was under pressure to come up. And I said, let me sit there. So I would have indicted myself if I had been there to those pressure. So thank you, madam, for being such an example. The same to Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Ofualaga. When he also came in, he sat at the back. And I felt so happy that I did all of that pressure. And Pastor Egoji, I also thank you for what you've been doing for this great school. And of course, the principal, I think I'm meeting for the third time in a row. And the students of Government College, I want to congratulate you on this ceremony taking place today. I told Prince Duku, and also Pastor Igologe, that I actually have another keynote lecture to give as Government House as today. Niger Delta Youth Parliament. That invitation came a week before this invitation. But I did a comparative and comparative analysis, and I said, no, this is a younger audience. This is a younger generation. And that all that you are doing in this country today is about your generation. And I chose to so that is why I am here today. The chairman made some points in the course of his welcome address. He said this is a legacy event. In the course of talking, he said he was hoping that something is going to spark an inspiration in you. And that is what this event is all about. The best thing any nation can do is human capital development. And that is what the class of 88 has chosen to offer to you today. For the sake of your future and also for the sake of Nigeria. In 1983, Achebe published a monograph entitled The Trouble with Nigeria. And he dedicated that monograph to his children. And he said, for whom the argument of the future is all about. The future Achebe saw in 1983 is here with us now. That how well has Nigeria fared? The verdict is simple. Nigeria has failed. Wale Soyinka Achebe's contemporary, I'm sure you know all of these things, also refer to the generation as a wasted generation. I am contemporaries with the children of Achebe and Wale Soyinka, and they were looking forward to this day that by now Nigeria would have been redeemed. But sadly, Nigeria has not been redeemed. Nigeria is lost in the woods. Now, you are young people for whom the future is all about. Do you want Nigeria to remain lost? That is why we must thank the class of 88 for giving it faith to bring us here this day. To talk about charting visionary paths for leaders of the future. Today's conference has been captioned Future Leaders Conference 2025. And my title is Charting Visionary Paths for Leaders of the Future. This topic, this conference would not have come at a better time. So once again, I congratulate you all for being part of this history. The Government College has a heritage. It is a place of history, and you must all know this, especially students of this great institution. Sadly, for many years, history was taken off our curriculum, but we must deliberately defend our history again and again. Because to make progress, to move forward, we must of necessity look back to what happened in the past. I'm sure as students of this school, you must have been told that the school was founded in 1945 by the colonial government of that period. And it was modeled after Eton. Eton is a great school, a public school in England. Eton has produced more than 20 prime ministers of Great Britain. That was the vision that bettered Government College. A place for discipline, a place for diligence, a place for perseverance, a place for fairness, a place for future leaders. In Nigeria, in the League of Government College are King's College Lagos, founded in 1909, the year Obafemi Awolowo was born. Barewa College, Zaria, founded in 1921. It was Katsina College, the next is Barewa College. Barewa College produced about 4 head of state and president of Nigeria. Barewa College produced Tafawa Balewa, produced Yakubu Gowon, produced Murtala Mohammed, produced Alhaji Shehu Shagari. It also produced Ahmadu Bello. That was the kind of vision that entered the schools of that category. There was also Queen's College, Lagos, founded in 1927. Government College, Umuahia, 1929. Government College, Ibadan, 1929. And the last of them is Government College, in 1945. If you look at the shakers and movers of the world, Africa and Nigeria, for like 5 decades now, they were products of these schools. So that is the heritage to which we belong. It's a great heritage with a legacy of achievement. And we should not just celebrate the achievement. We should think of the factors that bettered these achievements. Discipline, diligence, character, uncommon learning, perseverance, fairness. These are some of the things we should be looking at that give birth to the kind of tradition that Government College Ugeli, Umuahia, Ibadan, and the others I've mentioned came to be. And your alumni, they have done so well all over the world. I think just 2 weeks ago, the entire world gathered to celebrate one of the oldest Nigerians, Sam Premu Amuka. You all know Vanguard newspaper? You know Vanguard newspaper? So he is the founder and publisher of Vanguard newspaper. He turned 90 about 2 weeks ago, and he was celebrated all over the world. But many of them, you know this day newspaper that write television? The owner is also an older government college, Unduka Obaidena. The Minister of Aviation in Nigeria, Festus Keyamo, is also an old boy of government college. One of the world's most important writers, J.P. Clark, from Kiagolos, what more than 15 minutes from here, was also an old boy of government college, Ugeli. One of the biggest corporate players in the world is no more. Gamaliel Onosode was also an old boy of government college. His 2 sons, Spencer and Essie, were also old boys. The list is endless. So we cannot weigh all of them. But I'm just mentioning this for you to know the kind of heritage you belong. And not just to students of government education, every other student that is here today. That if all of these things I mentioned can make it, all of you can also do what? All of you can consider yourselves as ambassadors of the future. The future that will be engineered and remain Nigerian. Now we are talking about leaders of the future. The future again, as I agree with 23, is all about you. My generation is people's generation. And I know for his generation, we are not it. We must say that we cannot fold our hands and allow your generation to lose. That is why we are doing this. That is why people will have to get myself. I should come and talk to younger people that are still in present. And I'm also sure it was that desire, and also the class of 88, to leave all that left here to come to government college again. And you all know that to travel in Nigeria today is a bullet. It is not easy. And of course, the economy, then you put all of this aside, and they are here to talk to us about your future. Now, why should we be worried about the future? Why should we be talking about visionary leadership of a generation? The reason is this: there are challenges. There are many mountains ahead. There are many rivers and oceans that are impediments to our development as a people. Look at the Nigerian story. Right now, if we sit down to talk about the trouble in Nigeria, they are endless. We are not going to get out of this place today. You know them, young and impressionable as you are. Corruption, failed leadership, failed infrastructure, failed education system, failed health system, everything in Nigeria has virtually collapsed. And some people will tell you that Nigeria has become what? A failed state. You are children here today, but I'm sure you hear the story of a place called Chibok. You heard of Chibok? Here, many secondary school girls were abducted. They were kidnapped from their hostel at night and taken away by Boko Haram. Many of them are yet to be found. It happened again in another place called Damchi. Damchi girls, they were also kidnapped and taken away. Many of them have not been found. There is a place called Boni Yadi. Government countries to Boni Yadi in Yobe State. Terrorists also went there night and killed about 48 the students. Now, as we speak, between 18 and 20 million children cannot go to school in Nigeria. As we speak, there is a phenomenon called multidimensional poverty. It's affecting Nigeria. No clothing, no shelter, no feeding. It's affecting Nigeria. About more than 120 million Nigerians go to bed hungry. As we speak, we have become a nation without rules. As we speak, we are among the 10 most corrupt countries in the world. As we speak, Nigeria is one of the most dangerous places to give birth to children. the bills are little. Now, what do we experience? People now say school are waiting. But my young people, school is not a scam. Education is not a scam. You can see the class of 88. Don't you like them? And they are here impressed by this. Many of them are great men that if you mention their names anywhere in the world, people stand up to welcome them. Look at the hygiene. Look at those of the hygiene. Do you think school is a scam? School is not. But what leadership, failed leadership did to us, make people to not think that school is what? A scam. Why? You go to school, you have the first degree, second degree, even a PhD, there will be no job. Some 5 years ago, Aliko Dangote, African Teachers Man, advertised for truck drivers. The record is there. 7 PhD holders applied to become truck drivers. These are the reasons why young people don't think of school now scam. But I assure you, school is not a scam. Somebody whose name I will mention later in this lecture, Abraham Lincoln, did say that I will study and wait, and the opportunity will come. That is what I'm enjoining you all to do. Be diligent, study and wait, and someday the opportunity is going to come. The rest assured about that. Your parent investment, your sacrifice, your effort, your diligence will not go in vain. It shall be rewarded someday. Now, because of the hopelessness around us, what do we encounter? We see this thing called Japa syndrome. Some years ago, 2-3 years ago, I will not mention the name of the university. I was on sabbatical at the university, and I asked the students, about 250 of them, how many of them are ready to remain in Nigeria after graduation? Believe me, all of them except one said he was going to remain in Nigeria. I'm giving lectures to young people like you, older than you, when they ask that question, the response is always disappointing. So it is disturbing, it is frightening. Our young people are living. Not just our young people, they're the best and the brightest. I told Pastor Ekwuje when we were coming this morning that in the last 5 years, I'm attracting to them brilliant people into my university. And many of them are living. They are getting scholarships to go and study in America, in Canada, in the United States. One of them left in 2020 after COVID. And I organized a send-off party among my colleagues. We were about 50 that attended. It was not time for free speeches. Everybody that spoke advised that young man not to come back. And we know that this is the opportunity to escape. That was opportunity. I was a lone voice. I said, Matthias, when you are looking for your doctorate, please come back and serve Nigeria. Nigeria is the only country where praise God to praise you. And he said, thank you, sir. I will return. Unfortunately, after his event, he called me and he spoke. There was no reaction I was going to return. And of course, I gave him my blessing. Because if I told him to return, he would have seen me as the winner of this time. So we are losing our best and brightest. What about medical doctors? Medical doctors are living daily. The time is coming, we are not going to be having trained medical personnel. We shall not fall back to what happened 100 years ago. We shall not rely on native doctors. Because everybody in the university studying medicine is looking towards America, looking towards the Arab Emirates, and also other places where their services are valued. So why are we where we are now? It's because of what? Failed leadership. Because of lack of visionary leadership. But has it always been like this for Nigeria? The answer is no. The story of Nigeria, what is today Nigeria, was non-existent before 1914, when Lord Buddha brought us together. and they were under colonialism. Then some men arose, and we call them visionary leaders. We call them nationalists. They saw a vision that, look, Nigeria must be free. And they set in motion a lot of steps that led to Nigerian independence in 1960. Among these men were Amadou Bello, Obafemi Awolowo, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Anthony Enahoro, Tafawa Balewa, Samuel Ladoke Akintola, Dennis Osadebe, Okoromowo, Samuel Mariri, many of them, Margaret Ekpo, Funmilayo Ransome Kuti, women. They saw a vision of a future Nigeria. And these men were well educated. That is why we are saying that education is not what is scam. They were well educated and they were able to stand up to the colonial master to say, look, we can rule a future Nigeria. They worked hard with their brilliance, articulation, and intelligence. They set up political parties, Action Group, Northern People's Congress, NCNC, and gradually Nigeria became an independent country. These men I mentioned, they were visionaries. They saw tomorrow. They were pragmatic. They were diligent. They were highly knowledgeable. They were principled and disciplined. And what happened? They were actually building a prosperous nation. The anthem we read that earlier, Nigeria will hail thee, was crafted, was written around that time because of the kind of great vision they had for Nigeria. And by 1954, Nigeria was going at the same pace with Japan. You all know Japan. We had it produced Toyota, one of the most developed countries in the world. Nigeria was at the same pace with Japan, 1954. Then by 1960, Nigeria was in better place, 1960 to 66. Nigeria was in better place than China and many of these other countries today. Nigeria, our first TV station in 1959, when some countries in Europe had no television. Our first University of Ibadan, 1948. Ife, Zaria, Lagos, Nsukka, between 1960 and 1962, and they were among the best universities in the world. Why? Because those early leaders were visionary, they were patriotic, and they placed Nigeria on a sound foundation. Today, many of our people, if they want healthcare, Medicare, what do? They travel out. But it will be interesting to know that the Saudi Arabia royal family were coming to Nigeria in the 70s up to 1975. For what? For medical treatment. The same Nigeria we are talking about. The university that were built by these men I mentioned, Ife, Ibadan, Nsukka, Lagos, they were among the best. If you attended Ibadan today and you go to the University of London, you will not know the difference. Obafemi Awolowo University was the most beautiful campus in all of Africa. It was thought most beautiful in all of the world, all over the world. The University of Lagos, Nsukka, is a great institution that were built by these pioneers. We have Olympic-sized stadium at Ibadan, in Kano and in Enugu. The kind of achievements Nigeria made before 1966, no other country made that. Nigeria was the most dynamic country in the world. There's something happened. As visionary, as great, as patriotic, as selfless, as development-oriented as it as well. Their vision were ethnic. They didn't have what we call a pan-collective Nigerian vision. Awolowo held to the west, Yoruba, Amadi Bello held to the north, Hausa, Fulani, Azikiwe held to the east. So there were ethnic tensions. And of course, there was corruption. And what happened? A military coup in 1966. And that became the turning point for Nigeria's nightmare. After the coup, there was a civil war. And for 13 years, Nigeria was under military rule. That was where Nigeria lost the vision of greatness. You were not born into military institution, so you will not understand what I am talking about. Then talk to your parents when you get home. They will tell you about the tragedy and horrors and visionlessness of military rule. That was where Nigeria got it from. And here we are today. We are tottering on the precipice of being a failed nation. So all of what we are suffering today, as Achebe said in that monograph I mentioned earlier, had to do with what? Failure of leadership. The opening sentence in that pamphlet said that there is nothing wrong with Nigerian air, Nigerian climate, Nigerian weather. That the trouble with Nigeria, simply and squarely, the failure of what? Leadership. He went on to say that the inability of Nigerian leadership to rise up to the challenge of personal example, which is the hallmark of leadership. I made a point earlier. When Dr. Ogbamu came in here, he sat at the back. He was on fire, sat at the back. They didn't come to the front. What is that? That is personal example. They were selfless, and they did that. If everybody would imbibe that kind of character, Nigeria would have been a better place to be. These are some of the things we are going to be talking to you about. So I just told you about Nigeria up to 1966, before the year of the locusts came upon us. Now, the need for visionary leadership, because of these challenges, let me ask you a question. Do you enjoy the way Nigeria is today? Do you want us to continue like this? So what do we do? Let us go back to the drawing table. That is why we are doing this afternoon. So the way forward. The way forward. At this stage, I hope teachers are here. Sadly, parents are not here. We must begin to be thinking of what we call national aspiration, national consensus, national dream. All going around the kind of country we want to get in the future. Somebody, Peter Drucker, said that the best way to predict the future is to do what? To create that future. You land on your bed the way you make it. So we are looking at the kind of future that your generation will bequeath to the next generation. Only time it will take. A happy pastor referred to them. He said, boys. They were boys some years ago, but look at them. Are they still boys? They are men. In no time, you will get to university, you get a job, you set up your own businesses, you become parents. You now look back to this day. You came together in a hall, government college. So now, you should begin to envision the kind of country you want. Looking at you now, nobody is less than 10 years. Nobody is less than 10 among you. So now, you should be precocious. You should be thinking about the kind of country you want. The things you see around you. Are you happy with these things? Of course, the answer has been no. So how do you want Nigeria to be in another 15 or 20 years? Hence, I was talking about a national aspiration. A national consensus, a national dream, we can call it the Nigerian dream. There's something called the American dream. But unfortunately, Nigerian elite has not been able to do what? Build a national consensus. That is why all of us, the people, must do what? Begin to think of what we consider to be the national consensus. Now, whenever you sing your national anthem, what should be our national dream, national aspiration, national consensus? It's already embedded in the national anthem. We're talking of handing to our children a banner without city. Know what that means? It's about honor. It's about integrity. It's about sacrifice. It's about leaving something for future generations. In that anthem, we are talking to God. No, that build us a nation where no man is what? Oppressed. And that with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. when you recite the national pledge, you don't do it as recite as no. The national pledge is your creed, C-R-E-E-D, that I pledge to Nigeria what? My country. To be what? Faithful, loyal, and what? To do what? Again? What follows after that? Again, continue. It's a solemn pledge that you make to yourself. My country. God, there are many countries all over the world. That God did what? To put us here. So whenever you recite the national anthem, know that it's a covenant that should bind you to your future. The national anthem, the national pledge. In between these two phenomena are embedded national aspirations, national creed. And from that, we can build a national consensus. Now, our teachers, and many of them were here, parents, we must go ahead with civic and cultural education. Civic, it will have with the skills and knowledge of public engagement, democratic engagement. Things about elections, about negotiations, about campaign, about social reordering politically, where you live, your little corner. What do you do in your space? What do you do for your community? What do you do in your hostel, in your classroom? That is what civic education. Your national anthem, the national pledge, your duties, your allegiance to Nigeria. The issue of patriotism is embedded in what? Civic education. We all run to America. An American president of less memory, what did he tell his countrymen? That do not ask what America can do for you. Eventually think about what you can do for America. Let your consciousness be Nigeria first consciousness. I told you something that great as Obafemi Awolowo was, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Ahmadu Bello, great as those men were, they were ethnocentric. They were too ethnic. That was one of the reasons why Nigeria collapsed before the Civil War of 1967. So at this stage, they need to have a Nigeria first consciousness, a Nigeria first consciousness, a Nigeria first consciousness. Be patriotic and be pan-Nigerian in your thinking. Then cultural education. There's so much in our culture, our myths, our legend, our oral history, our folktale that we mold all of you onto the path of rectitude. Onto the path of rectitude. Sadly, we are being cut off from our oral tradition. I enjoyed our teachers, I enjoyed our parents to go back to those cherished values that are embedded in our cultural alignment. That we are going to find in cultural education. Now, every school, every young Nigerian should have this kind of indoctrination that going to school is about learning and character. And of these two, character is the most important. Learning and character. If you ever say that the easiest way to destroy a nation is to attack its educational foundation. So learning and character. What's your character? What are the things you see in your character? Integrity, honesty, selflessness. That tendency to do what? To serve, to make sacrifice, to persevere, to endure, and to be diligent. All of these are character formations. I will again refer to Dr. Valu, Dr. Fuala. What they did after the convention up to 3-4 times now. It's about what? It's about character. Look all around you. You see politicians, even councillors running amok with direct. But go abroad. You see prime ministers riding bicycles. Are you not looking forward to a day when your president will also have a bike to the office? Yes. We are looking forward to that day. Prime ministers in those countries, a state of those countries, can fund the Nigeria's budget for 10 years. But you see their prime ministers riding bicycles. You see their governors separating themselves to function. But in Nigeria, we all know that the story is different. Now, we should set goals and objectives. You can now begin with your personal life. As students, what are your goals? What are your objectives? I'm here for government college, ATGS, and the results, Pomodi, any school you come from. You are going to do this 6 years. At the end of the 6 years, I want to make A1 in 9 subjects. I want to take down these are those objectives. Set this thing for yourself and then replicate it in your public engagement. Then it's also back on strategic thinking. Strategic thinking. I tell my students anywhere I go to, if you see a problem here, you should see beside that problem a solution. There are problems everywhere. America has its own problem. China, UK, where we are all running to, there are problems everywhere. But the difference is the capacity of the leaders and even followers to find solutions to these problems. So whenever you see a problem, challenge yourself and see a solution. There is no problem that is insurmountable. Every problem has what? A solution. That is where we talk about strategic thinking. You should be enterprising. You should see Nigeria as an enterprise. See your daily life as an enterprise. Not just as an enterprise, but as an enterprise that must not fail. Bishop Booker told us that it has become a criminal enterprise, a big crime scene. That is true. But let us see this country, our homes, our communities, our school, our private life as an enterprise that must not fail. And how do we do that? We have to be creative. There's something called creative thinking. There's something called critical thinking. There's something called innovative thinking. You must do what? Learn to embrace all of this in order to make progress. Now, we are lamenting about the trouble with Nigeria. The question is, are there no policies to take care of all of these problems in Nigeria? There are policies. From the days of General Ibrahim Babangida, Nigeria has never been lacking in policies. I must say that we have some of the best policies in the world. But the problem is what? We do not have strategic implementation. We do not have strategic implementation. If not all of the problems we are solving today, there are policies for all of them. But we have not got the kind of pragmatic and visionary leaders that should do what? That should bring these policies to bear. Transforming politics to what? Politics into action. Nigerians are good people. I say that everywhere with confidence. Go all over the world. The best doctors are from Nigeria. The best engineers are from Nigeria. The best professors are from Nigeria. These policemen that misbehave on our street and the soldiers who collect money, when they go out for peacekeeping, they always come out at the best in United Nations peacekeeping efforts. But once they return to Nigeria, you land at the airport in Abuja or Lagos, the Nigerian spirit possesses you. And what is Nigerian spirit? Failed leadership. So we must all do what? Exercise, cast away that spirit. Every second is a responsibility that all of us must take. Now, in terms of visionary leadership and the future, we cannot throw away the place of ideals. Ideals. This is how we want things to be. We can talk about lofty ideals. I challenge you, children. Go through the national anthem every morning, whether you are in school or you are at home. Go through the play every morning. That should be your article of faith. Gradually, you will grow and see ideals in the national anthem and also in the pledge. Now, bonded with this ideal has to do with religion. Whether you are a Christian or you are a Muslim, the two religions, even traditional African religion, they are all about the betterment of humanity. If you are a Christian, you are a Muslim, anyone who subscribes to, hold on to them strongly. Religions all over the world are essentially about the good, about the betterment, about the progress of humanity. Then we must also remember all values. Every institution, every school, every space, every family, to begin to do what? Embrace core values. We need that. Core values. What are the things we hold dear? What are the things we want people to know us? Core values. It will be perseverance, it will be diligence, it will be sacrifice, it will be excellence, it will be honesty, it will be integrity. Think of core values. No matter how many you have, please embrace them. Embrace them. Then, as future leaders, you must be adaptable because the world is changing. The world is changing. The world of when we were in school is not the world of today. There's something called the new world order. It is upon us, and it is being driven by ICT. You hear the problem of what? Climate change, flooding, environmental degradation. Then there are solutions to all of this. All of these are coming with what we call a brave new world, which is being projected for 2050. You know, we want to talk about MDGs. Now we're talking about SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. Unfortunately, and sadly, Nigeria missed both of them. But do you want to miss future deadline for greatness? Do you want to do that? No. That is why we should do all of it. We must learn to be adaptable and get adapted to the new world order. We talk about artificial intelligence, robotics. A lot is going to change and it's going to shock the world. Job loss, opportunities, a lot is going to collapse. But you must prepare. I want to believe that you will not fail yourself, you will not fail Nigeria. By way of conclusion, there's something I call the rectangle factor. The rectangle factor. The family, the society, the school, and of course you, the kids. Many families have failed the children. So I enjoin parents, let our homes be the foundation for greatness for these young people. There are two statements I always refer to when I talk to young people. One of them is Abraham Lincoln. Many of you have access to the internet. When you get home, you should Google Abraham Lincoln's letter to his son's teacher. You need to open your eyes to a lot of things. Another one is General Douglas MacArthur, a father's prayer for his son. Please read up these two items. They are not long, but they are going to spark a lot of things. I'm referring to them because both of them were fathers. That is the foundation the family should be. The other one is society. Once upon a time, when I was growing up, every elderly person in the neighborhood was our father or mother. If you misbehave there, they will correct you, they will chastise you, they will punish you. Then we have lost that virtue today. Let us go back to that fact that everyone in the neighborhood see yourself as a father or mother to all of these children. That is society. Then the school. The next place after the family is school. That is where I'm enjoining the teacher. Please, there is another one said that if you are a teacher, you should do well. You should teach well. Our teachers, please teach these children well. They are our future. Then the fourth one in this factor, the students, the pupils, please. But what your parents do for you or do to you, take them in good faith. Whatever society, people outside do to you, do for you, take in good faith. Then your teachers, you must respect your teachers. Whatever path your teachers show for you, please follow that path. Then finally, the teachers, the authorities, we must begin to invoke sanctions. I made the point earlier that all of the policies that make Nigeria the greatest country in the world, we have them in our government, but we do not apply them. Nigeria is the only place where sanctions, people are not punished for wrongdoing. If we punish you for wrongdoing, we are going to be able. Everywhere we find ourselves, let us invoke sanctions. Last year, somebody, later that was just mere drama and state managed. Somebody was arrested for foreign currency. And for 2 months, people stopped abusing the naira. Even in a remote village, one of the remotest villages, somebody said that, don't spray money on the social media and everybody behave well. How come our people abroad, they are so well behaved, and as I said, they rank among the best. But when they come back home, it is lawlessness because there are no sanctions. That is what has destroyed our public life. So all that is wrong with Nigeria today is the sum total of what is wrong with all of us as individuals. So if every person behaves well, if every home is in tune with good life, Nigeria will be in tune with good life. We pray a lot in this country. About a month or 2 ago, a chart came up. The countries that did not pray, they were the best, the most prosperous. But those of us who pray and pray and pray, and we do not do what we should do, it's like God has done his part on us that we are evil. So, this generation, somebody called Frank that every generation must act on duty, must purity, discover its mission, fulfill it, or what? It. My prayer for you today is that you must discover your mission, and that you will fulfill your mission, and that you will not betray your mission. And like those lines in our national anthem, we cry to God to build us what? A nation where no man is oppressed, and that with peace and plenty, Nigeria will be there. So thank you. And God bless you.
So please be seated. Thank you so much, sir. We deeply appreciate your presentation and its content. Some of the things that John had for me that school and scam, school not is scam. We are testimonies that school is not a scam. That you are here even today also shows that school is not a scam. Because if you were not in the school, you would not be invited here anyway, right? School is not a scam. Abraham Lincoln said, I will study and wait. So that is to say, you have to prepare for the opportunities of the future. For you to prepare for the opportunities of the future, you must study. And if you go back to the scriptures, it says, study and show thyself approved, right? So you must study or you can be approved. And that approval comes from your work. So I want to thank you so much for also declaring or emphasizing the fact that the pledge should be a personal creed to us. We are moving ahead, but before we do so, I can tell you that I've attended few schools, and in all, I did not have the privilege of seeing my vice chancellor in the university. I didn't have to. In fact, some of us look at the vice chancellor as a demigod somewhere. And in my time, it was the prolific Professor Andrew Onokerore of the University of Benin. Even hearing about him was just enough. But
But here you have, as a secondary school student, you have the privilege to be having the vice chancellor of the university here in your midst to speak to you. We'll bring the PowerPoint at this time, but I just want to introduce the vice chancellor of the Federal University of Petroleum Resources, the Professor Agbalagba. Professor Agbalagba, you're welcome. Thank you. You know, Professor Agbalagba is the Deputy Vice Chancellor. Former Deputy Vice Chancellor from the same institution. So, Agbalagba, that's where the confusion was coming from. You are welcome. I've had the privilege of studying with Professor Agbalagba in a think tank, and I know that he's a very diligent professor, very humble man, and we are indeed happy that you are here. Thank you so much. Beautiful people, I want to take time out to welcome this one of our keynote addressees, person of Mrs. Franca Olea Chibuzo. Educationist, a passionate woman for children. Welcome. Thanks for coming. We have a loaded package because I've had the privilege of seeing the materials to be presented by our mommy, Dr. Veronica Gordon. And she has mandated me to read something for you. But before we do that, I just want to quickly read something about our mommy to us. Dr. Veronica Efetemere Ogbuagu, Dr. Mrs. She holds a Bachelor of Education, Masters in Education, and a PhD. To the girl child here, be inspired by what I'm reading today of our mommy. She's a politician. She's an administrator. And she holds the record, at least in this state, as one of the most astute academic administrators. Because in her time, discipline in our secondary schools was at an all-time high. She was born on August 28, 1957 in Efrum, the Gubia local government area, married with children. For those of St. Rita's College, you can boast because she attended your school. Mommy attended your school from 1969 to 1974. She attended Nana College. From 1975 to 1976, College of Education, Africa, 1979 to 1982, University of Ibadan, 1986 to 1990, and 1998 to 2004. She was a teacher at Ogbe Primary School, 1976 to 1979. In fact, some of her classmates confirmed today that at the time she was in Ogbe College, they were not born yet. So when we say born, by all standards, she's qualified, right? Yes. Hence it. Both in terms of age, character, and everything, she's a woman. She taught
That's when she had her national service. What is it? When we can go from the things you tell you today. If you do that, you are going to benefit optimally. And she asked me that I should read this to you. I wish to share with you the observation of a university dorm. A university dorm wrote this. I shut my office door and wept. I couldn't hold back the tears, especially after stepping into the female hostel, now overcrowded. Every single girl under our care, this session is under 25 years old. Some are just 12 in number in a room. And here is what breaks my heart even more. None of these girls were rescued from the streets. Every one of them was brought in by their own parents. While checking in bags at both the girls and boys hostels, we found paraphernalia, evidence of addiction, rebellion, deep-rooted pain. This is not just a problem. This is a pandemic. Let's stop pretending. Let's stop covering our eyes. Things are not right with our youth. Today, I read about a young man expelled from Babcock University. A teenager with 100,000 naira ritual soap from a herbalist. He borrowed 500,000. He became a drug peddler. Not from a poor home, not a street child, but a well-put boy from a comfortable background. Waiting in the fight. Kedu ihe ọ na-achọ? Kilo ngwa gonga. Mene kanaso. Waiting in the fight. I think that's all what that means. What is going on with our youth? Why this desperation for quick wealth? What has happened to hard work, integrity, and dignity? Last week, we struggled to find a tiler for one of our projects. We had to bring in one from Togo. Why? Because our own youth do not want to learn any skills. They don't want school. They want hookup. They want their home. They want to do nothing but scroll, laugh, party, and they want money fast. And let's be real. You cannot do your home or hook up without drugs or alcohol. They go hand in hand. My heart is heavy, both and both. And so we want to invite, by way of modifying our program, Dr. Mrs. Veronica Ogwagi to teach us something today. Mommy, we invite you.
Visit the medical staff by our reps. Thank you. God bless you. Welcome.
Please permit me to observe established protocol. Class of 88, Government College Old Boys Association. I greet you, our dear students, teachers, parents, they are not even here. I greet you all. If only we could go out and get more children or students, particularly those that say education is hard, those that are into drugs, those that are autists. If only one day we'll be able to get them and talk with them, or go to their site, or go to
to their hideouts, most probably will be able to redeem 1% or 2% of them. But then we thank God, because out of you, all of you, by the grace of God, you will do the things that we have failed to do as leaders and elders. I bring you today not just as an educationist, but as a mother, a mentor, and a fellow Nigerian who sees the light of greatness glowing within every one of you here present. You are not ordinary. You are the dreams of our great country, the heartbeat of tomorrow, and the builders of the Nigeria. We hope for you. You are only our hope. My generation has failed you. You heard Professor. We have failed to set example that could have inspired you to aim for greater heights in all spheres of life. For instance, it is my generation that once gained government money in their custody was swallowed by what? Thank you. But it is my generation that used public funds to build over 700 what? Housing units. It is also my generation that falsified my head to run for election. Like I said, we can go on and on and on. Sorry, that's the wrong slide. I want to speak on that. Draw first. Now, we can go on and on and on, but we cannot exhaust the ills of our society. It pains my heart. I felt the love of you all know the drug trap, reclaiming our youth from drug addiction, policing, exam malpractice, and lost purpose. These are 1, 2, 3, 4 very vital topics that have swallowed almost all our youths in Nigeria. So we are going to start from the drugs. You know what drugs are. You know how they abuse drugs. When you become dependent on drugs, that is what is happening now. For instance, if you go to Warri, you go to NRA Junction, at night you see children, children less than 12 years, dazed. From 10 o'clock till 12, 1 o'clock, you see them standing lifeless because they've been smoking, they've been sniffing drugs. These children have parents. You go to one where the same thing. In fact, there are spots. We have searched and we've gotten the spots in Warri. Metropolis. The thing is, now look at the definition of drugs. It's a chemical substance used to treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose a disease to promote well-being. Then when you talk about substance abuse or drug abuse, it's any misuse or overuse of substance such as prescription drugs or the use of illegal drugs over and over again in ways that will hurt your body. When does drug use become drug abuse? Drug use become drug abuse when an individual continues to use the drug even when they are aware of its repercussion, even when they know that it is not good for their body, physically and emotionally and mentally, they keep on using it. Now, what are these drugs? The drugs that are abused. You have stimulant abuse, cocaine abuse, adrenal abuse, and heroin. Sorry, please, it's not going to connect to my plant. Now we talk of come. The next slide, please. So sorry. Before I did this thing last night, I didn't sleep this morning. Now I'm even looking at it. Now let me go. Listen, when you talk about drug abuse, let us go to the various drugs abuse, like I've mentioned, Valium, heroin, prescription painkillers, sedative use, and all. Then we go to causes of drug abuse. Nigeria is a country that you walk into the chemist. You ask for any drug. It is now that they refuse to sell Valium and other sedatives to people. You will always get. Then you look at your social factor in the sense that the background of your parents, your income, your wealth, and everything, risk drug abuse for people who can afford such drugs. Environmental factor, the same thing also. Where drugs, you see them and you can easily reach out to them, and there are people around you that are drug addicts, and your children, you are watching them, they are taking these drugs. And when you grow up, you too will become part of the whole thing. Then you have lack of social support, where you have problems now. You don't have anybody to run to, no family member, no good friend for support and all. All you think about is to fall back to drugs. Then you have curiosity or experimentation. That is particularly for the young ones. Let me try this and let me see how it can. And if you walk into our schools, now you see teens taking drugs. When I say teens, I mean young boys and young girls. They are into drugs. They are into drugs. You see them, they even have nicknames for them. Some of you know the nicknames. Polos, Dorman, Arizona, Charlie, Snow, Kurumiri, and all. These names are nicknames when they call them. Anybody that does not know, that does not want to know these things, they just walk away from them. Now, the drugs, what they do, it's terrible. It's terrible in the sense that they affect the people who use drugs. If you go around Warri and all other places, you see mad people. Different faces coming up every day. Different young boys and young girls, they are mad. Most probably because of drugs or because of the Yahoo and Yahoo things, ritualists that they belong. No. Peer group pressure. When you talk about peer groups, your mates, a lot of you listen to your peer groups than your parents. It is what they say, what they do that you should want to do. And this is a very, very, very strong pressure on young boys and young girls. When it comes to, moral issues, it is very strong. Now, how do you know people who abuse drugs? One, changes in their appearance, changes in friends, major changes in behavior, sudden mood changes, angry, aggressive, or resistant behavior, borrowing money to do what? Guess what? To do what? To buy drugs. They have trouble with the police. They will have reduced energy and ambition, loss of interest in favorite activities and hobbies. Their performances in school, that is, even if they agree to go to school, it drops, and they become angry and hostile when discussing drug issues or news. Now, the negative peer pressure statements. I want to, yes, just leave this one. It's not even clear. Now listen to the statement. Just listen, please. When they want to pressurize you to take drugs, no one will ever know. What's the big deal? You can have it. I do it all the time and never be caught. We will go down together if anything happens. Everybody else is doing it. You will look older and more mature. Try it, you will really like it. You only live once. Don't be a whip. Don't be a chicken. Try it. These are all the words they keep telling the people they want to convince to start taking drugs. And the only thing that will make you, as a good child of God and your parents and of the society, is when you have resistance skills. These skills will help you to say no. And when you say no, you mean no. I want to teach you skills now. You will use these skills just like assertive skills. In any time anybody wants to pressurize you to do anything bad, just listen. You say no to drug or no to sex. With self-confidence, you look directly at the person to whom you are speaking. Say no in a firm voice. Be confident because you are being responsible. You're taking a decision yourself. Be proud because you are obeying law and respecting family guidelines. Do not change your mind when you say no. Do not change your mind. Avoid saying no and say thank you. You can't say no and tell somebody thank you when the person is telling you to do something wrong. Never thank someone for pressurizing you to do anything harmful, unsafe, illegal, disrespectful, or which may disobey your parents or display a lack of character. Give reasons for saying no to drugs. Explain that drug use is harmful, unsafe, and illegal. That's what you will tell the person. Use non-verbal behavior to match verbal behavior. What you do and say. Do not pretend to use the drug. Do not pretend to sip a beer. Do not hold a pack or pass a secret or marijuana or needle used to inject drugs. Do not agree to buy a drug for someone else. Do not do or say anything that indicates that you approve of anti-drug use. Do not keep drugs for someone else. Avoid being in a situation in which there will be pressure to use harmful drugs. Think ahead about what peers will be doing when they invite you to join them. Ask if they will use drugs or put you in a pressure to use drugs. And if it is so, do not go anywhere with them. Attend only drug-free activities. Avoid being with friends who do not use drugs. Avoid being with friends who use drugs. Stay away from people who use or sell drugs. Learn the law and apply to drugs. Once you are caught, you have broken the law. There is drug law. It's just that we don't know. We have laws, but we don't know whether they work. We don't know because people are not punished for doing anything evil. They are found guilty, they are not punished. No sooner you get to the police station, they release them, set them on bail. So the thing is so painful and all. But keep yourself away from people who sell or who use drugs. You have a responsibility to follow laws and be a good citizen. Stay away from people who break laws pertaining to drug use. Stay away from areas where people use and sell drugs. Influence others to choose responsible behavior. Some of you are very good. Some of you can talk to friends and they listen in a constructive manner, not condemning them. Suggest free drug activities. Encourage those who patronize you to use drugs to change their behavior. Be their guardian angel. There are some people that are weak, that don't have self-confidence. Some are very weak, while some are very, very smart and strong and assertive. You can help the weak ones. Now, reasons why you should say no. If they ask you, why are you saying no? Why don't you take drugs? Come and try it. It is good. It will keep you high. You will not be afraid of people anymore. You tell them these reasons. Listen, I don't want to betray the trust of my parents or guardian. I don't want to betray the trust of my parents or guardian. I don't want to break the law and get arrested. I don't want to become violent and then harm others. I don't want to say something I will regret later. You know, when you are drunk, or from drug or alcohol, you just talk anyhow. I don't want to experience blackouts. You know what blackout is? You know, when somebody is drunk or when somebody is not drunk, what happens? What happens? Snaps. That's blackout. I don't want to hallucinate. What is hallucination? Huh? Come. What's hallucination? I don't want to hallucinate. None of you here. Huh? Yes, come quickly, no time. Come quickly. Come now, they won't hear, they can't hear you. Come, quick. Listen, as we are talking now, we are learning. Please, don't be quiet. We are learning. I will ask you a question. Yeah, what is hallucination? Thank you. Clap for me, please. You didn't give me the answer, and your hands cannot clap for somebody who gave answer. Clap for me. Now, I don't want to become addicted. I don't want to be suspended from school. I don't want to improve my risk of developing cirrhosis of the liver, cancer, or cardiorespiratory diseases. I don't want to be kicked off my athletic team, particularly those that are athletes. They take drugs and they find out, yes, they may ask you to go. If you are an athlete, you don't tell them you don't want to be kicked out of that. I don't want to waste money because I don't even have. My parents are poor. They don't even have money. I don't want to waste the little money my parents have. I want to think clearly. I want to stay in cool and stick to my decision to choose abstinence because we brought alcohol, abstinence. We talk of abstinence, staying away from sexual, abuse and other things. I want others to respect me. I want to be a role model for my younger siblings. I want to have social skills without relying on drugs. How do you be a drug-free model? A role model. A drug-free role model is a person who chooses a drug-free lifestyle, knows and follows laws and policies regarding drugs and educate others about the risks of using drugs. That's the drug-free role model. In your schools, you have extracurricular activities. There are things you can come together and learn. And by the time you vacate from school, you go to your environment, you see people that are not acting well, students or children that are into drugs. You can be a role model for them. Put them together and tell them the consequences of abusing drugs. Point to them the mad people, insane people all over the streets in our present day country. And tell them what they stand to lose as an adult. When they become adults, they start to lose a lot. Now, know and follow policies regarding drug use. We don't even know if we have them in this country. Nigeria is a great country, but has been brought down on our knees. Every good thing has been locked up in a room, and what we are saying are things that we are not supposed to see. What we are doing that will make people ashamed of themselves, they are the things we are doing, and we are proud of ourselves. I need you to educate others about the risk of drug use. Now, let me quickly go to pressure statement. Listen very well, because I will call on you to come and tell me. I will tell you one word, and you will tell me the response as against drug abuse. Listen, nobody will know but me and you. Pressure statement. Nobody will know but what? Me and you. What will be your response? No. Just put up your hand quickly. Not chorus. Nobody will know but me and you. This is online. Please go into. What will be your response? What? Good. God will also know. Clap for him. God will know. And most probably one day your parents will know. Your parents will know. If they are parents that are so observant, they will know, but your behavior will change. I read it before to you. Now, the second one, it can't hurt just this one time. It can't hurt just this one time. It can't hurt just this one time. Good, thank you.
I will become addicted.
You will become addicted. Clap for her. Good. Look, you all should be up and doing. But we're not spending this time learning anything. She said you will become addicted. And the person is telling him, it can't watch you. Just only this once. Look at the answer she gave, the response. I will become addicted. Good. Now, you are not afraid, are you? You are not afraid, are you? Yes, please. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. No, yes. Okay, you are not afraid. Yes, I am. Is there any other thing you can say? Yes, I am. Thank you very much. I am not afraid, but I want to let you know there are things that I want doing and things that I not want doing. I am not afraid. Don't think I am afraid. Don't think I am weak. I am not. But this is me telling you, I don't want it. And you cannot put pressure on me. Thank you. Everybody is doing it. Good. Everybody is doing it. Beautiful. Beautiful. In the first instance, I am not everybody. Not for me. Listen, don't mess up the form for everyone else. Don't mess up the form for everyone else. Don't mess up the form, F-U-N, form, for everyone else. What does that mean? Yes, please. Please put your hands together. There is no funny in it. Thank you very much. Fantastic. There's no funny in it. You brought me here, and you're telling me to take drugs, and you're telling me not to mess up the phone every other person.
If you make things right, I would rather be.
Put your hands together. Thank you very much. Thank you. Do you sing as a couple? Don't know what you are asking me to do. Is that right? Now, if you won't do it, don't bother to call. If you won't do it, don't what? Bother to call. Your response, please.
It is not necessary.
Thank you. It is not necessary. It is not necessary. If you won't do it, don't bother to call. Oh, all fair and good. People said me, I'm not even interested. I have other things to do, better things to do. Thank you. Now, it really is safe. That means it is really safe. It really is safe. Try it. Go.
I will be violent and aggressive.
Thank you. Thank you. Can we have another response, please? Thank you very much.
You try it first.
Beautiful. Please clap for two of both of them. Thank you. Thank you. You try it first. Thank you very much. Don't worry. We've been doing this for a long time. Don't worry. We've been doing this for a long time.
Then why have you not told me?
What? No. Go ahead. Oh, repeat it again. Sorry.
Then why have you not gone mad?
That is why I enjoy it.
Thank you very much. Good, beautiful answer. Sorry, please. Let's get more answers, please. Get more answers. But they are here to learn, please.
Every day for the team.
One day for the owner. Thank you. Good. Yes.
Then I will stop it forever.
Thank you. Yes, some of them will move ahead, please.
But only
Which one? Sorry. Stand up. Which one day?
one day you will call.
Good. Thank you very much. The last. Yes.
Of what benefit are we getting?
Beautiful. Please clap for all of them. All the rest of them now. Thank you very much. I am happy. Now it will be fun. It will be what? It will be fun. What will be the response? Please come along with me. It will be fun. Quickly.
There's nothing
There's what?
more.
So fun in it. Good.
It's not fun, it sounds cool.
It has fun in it.
It's not fun, it sounds
Oh, it's harmful. No. Yes. The last one other person. Not to repeat what someone has said, please. There's one hand at the end of the S. Oh, please.
It's punishable by law.
Thank you very much. Good. And when you read the last one for me, it will make you feel better than you ever have been before. Take it, it will make you feel better than you ever have been before.
I'm okay the way I am.
You are okay the way you are. Very good. Yeah.
I'm feeling better now.
Very good. Are you feeling better now? Yes. Yes, quickly.
I always feel better.
I always feel better. Good.
The happiness comes from us.
The joy or the happiness of taking it is not what? Permanent. That means after taking it for some time, what happens? Guess what? The problems are still there.
What's the key?
Oh, what's in the case? Thank you.
I'd rather
I've always felt better.
Right. It's not for all of them. I always felt better without drugs. And listen to me. If I feel too overwhelming or difficult or something with you, there's something you challenge yourself. Challenge your energy into something positive. positive and productive. You find it difficult because it is a student in secondary school or what have you. Find something to repeat yourself with. If it is tailoring, if it is photography, find a hobby. Find something. You never know when it will be of help to you. Don't just go about gallivanting. No, don't. Please. Find something. Volunteer yourself in your community. Start a small business. There are some of you that are gifted. Start a small business. You may say, how? Why? You don't know. You have great palms. Even farm. You can do something and sell. This country, until the country turns around, until God brings us. In fact, I think, like what you said, God has actually turned his back against us because he has blessed us with human and natural resources. Everything is in this country. Every state has one natural resources or the other. But look at us. Leadership, bad leadership. And I thank God for the class 88 that have brought you together and try and learn this. Now, if you ever make the mistake of having taste drop and want to go back again, just go on your knees and ask God to get you out. Because they commit suicide now. The suicide rate, Nigeria is a country that they don't even keep data. They don't keep records of things happening. They commit suicide, young boys and girls. They die through suicide, suicidal attempts, and the rest of them. You talk to somebody. Talk to somebody that you know is responsible. It's a pity we don't have trained guidance counselors in most schools. Even when we have them, they make them to teach instead of counseling. Counseling is something that's supposed to go on in school right from primary school, but we don't have them. If we have them, a lot of them don't have the skills to counsel. Emotional counseling, they don't have the skills to counsel children. But meet somebody that this is the mistake you have done, and let them pray for you. I will not do it again. And when you say you will not do it, stick to it. And when you have a friend, into drugs, little by little, don't condemn him or her. Just keep talking. As you talk, you pray for him. Because the world is something else entirely. As you talk, you pray for him. And what you will find out at the tail end of it all is that this boy or girl will be out of it. Now, avoid temptation of peer pressure. Avoid it. Some peers are good, some are very bad. Some are good, some are bad. Who are your friends? Show me your friend, and I will do what? Fine. Keep good friends. Keep good friends that you learn together, you discuss things together, good things and the rest of them. You laugh, you cry together. Keep good friends. They are very important at this present moment. So I want to believe that I have spoken on this drug something and you have learned a little. If not, I hope the assertive training, I want to believe that you will keep it, you will learn it, and you will help others that are not here. You tell them one or two things about drugs and all. Is that okay? You sure you benefited from it? Yes, can I go on to exam malpractice? Can I go on, please? Now, that's the first thing, this thing you have. Now, before we talk about exam malpractice, because it is something else entirely, it is finished. When Jesus put out his two hands on the cross and he laid the two hands, what did he say? It's what? I beg you before I start, hold on to education. When Professor came in here to talk, it was something else entirely. If the mother was here or the father was here, it would have been fantastic. Education is not to scam. Please. Please. And a lot of us parents think that education is simply going to school to learn how to do what? Read and write. Period. That is why the grace of certificates. Education is more than that. Education is for life. It is more than that. Now, education is a way of making fix in the society and contribute what they have gained in the society to the society. But people don't understand that. And when you look at examination, what is examination? It's a formal assessment of a person's knowledge, skills, understanding of a particular subject or topic. You run a course in school, or you run a telephone by the office or what have you. You are giving exams. So you find out how good you are, how efficient, how you understood the subject. But that is a big problem. That is the essence of exam. Choose people. Examination. And it takes the various forms, oral, written, projects, and what have you. It takes various forms. Examination. Now we have examination malpractice. This refers to any dishonest act of behavior during an examination that gives a candidate an unfair advantage over others. Examination malpractice is a serious issue that plagues the Nigerian education system. Now, you all know types of forms of examination malpractice. There are many. You know them, don't you? And you heard about them, don't you? Good. There are many, very many. I cannot even tell you my experience when I went to private schools. All to the extent that a woman writing a child or something brought a little baby of less than 9 months. And the baby was crying. The next thing I saw was she copied question papers from the neck of the child to the bottom of the child. So in the process of raising the person, uncomfortable. Hell. There are some I can wear gloves. Yes. I put my hands right into their hands and bring out papers. There are some that will wear stockings after they're wearing right. I tell you the story, we won't leave here. I have 15 minutes more. So dehumanizing. They've lost confidence. They don't know what to do again. It was terrible. And now, wow, it's something else entirely. The syndicate, different styles and all. Locking, what have you, everything you can think about. They know. And even teachers standing and calling names and answers to children. And you know what? Most of those things the teacher dictate to the children in the exam, they are what? Wrong. The children will fail. Because I'm sorry, teacher, I'm a teacher. Some children are more intelligent than teachers we have now. Because they have destroyed the preparation of teachers, the foundation. To prepare teachers now, it is better to prepare for organizer. They have destroyed the preparation of teachers. Teachers are not well prepared. So they give little or nothing to most children. These are the situations where we find ourselves. Look at this boy. What are you saying there? Writing what? He wrote on his hand, then wore a long sleeve. What are the causes of exam malpractice? Students are not ready to learn. Defective study habits. And that is where I want guidance counselors to help the students out. And the way they can help you out is to teach you effective study habits. Test taking. Teach you about test anxiety. Prepare you to take tests. It's very simple. These things are very simple. Poor preparation of students by teachers who are not motivated. Lack of self-confidence. Low self-esteem. Then fear of mathematics and physics. Fear of mathematics and physics. There was a school I went to. I went into a bush. The bush was a semi-class. Into a big bush. Table, chairs, and everything. Mathematics day. Physics. It's wonderful. It is wonderful, but I don't know. Parents too, who expect more from their children. Parents are even the worst culprits as we speak today. Parents, they are something else entirely. They give money to teachers and invigilators to help their children cheat. They are something else entirely. I really don't know where we are going to. Poor moral upbringing. Bringing your children to teach them how to cheat first. Mothers don't have time for children. Fathers don't have time. In the quest of looking for money, for body and soul, they don't have time. Let me tell you something. No matter how uneducated you are, when your child comes back, I'm not even supposed to be telling you this. I'm supposed to be talking to parents, group of parents. Even if you are illiterate, if you pick the book of your child and you pretend and you are laughing, you are opening the book and looking at it, the child will know that you have love for education. And the child will want to learn. Parents don't do that. Then the miracle schools, of course, private schools, we all know them, what they do. Even the ministry, how they leak papers. Even the examination bodies, how they leak papers, how they sell papers. Sometimes the papers are wrong, some are right, and all. It's so bad. The system is bad. Then most community, there are some places where the communities, the people, young boys and girls, they assist people to cheat. The police, oh, I remember, before I will leave Asaba, I said I want to head to school. Police are already in school. They will go and help me. They say they are helping you. They will help you to catch people who are cheating in the exam, take them to police station, and call their parents to come and bail them. At a point in time, I told them, don't go again, because some of you two are not good. You understand? So everybody is involved. What is the bad thing about exam malpractice? Effects of it. It destroys the quest for knowledge. You no longer want to say, I want to read, I want to learn, I want to be this, I want to be known as this and all. I want to discover this. I want them to attach my name to this discovery. It could be science, it could be art, it could be anything. It leads to unproductivity. Everybody is crying now. Doctors are crying. There are no doctors. Some doctors will open book and read before they prescribe drugs today. Women are dying, pregnant women are dying. What you can get a child still dead as they are dying. Why? Exam malpractice from the school, the education you have. So it affects the whole system. It doesn't give room for merit at all. It doesn't. You could see a child in a private school. My school before I closed it down because of teachers. I don't want to settle for any bureaucracy. A child will walk up to you. What did you take this term first? I will take it from you next term. Healthy competition. You can imagine who they will be when they become. Certificate reliability and validity become questionable. We have a lot of certificates, but we cannot defend them. The society is saturated with certificates that cannot be defended. I have a lot of recommendations here, but who will listen? Who will listen? Who will want to do something? I want to bring through a few. First and foremost, government should try as much as possible to fund education. When you have a school, you don't have lab. You don't have library. Functional lab, functional library. You read to exam, you bring that test tube and so, and show the children. How can they go to lab to perform experiments? Government should fund education. When you have people who are proud of this, how many persons teach I want to teach at the same time? You don't have materials, instructional materials. You don't have that. You don't send your teacher for courses. To reform their teaching skills. You don't do that at all. The ministry does not even have vehicles to go on patrol, inspection. Parents are too numerous. We can't go on, we can go on and on and on. Now, I said it before. If you have a guidance for school, tell that person to teach you all, whether you are good or not. Effective studying. In those days, when we want to prepare for exams, we will drink the next day, but not asking for drinking it. We will get a bucket of water, keep our legs, we will prevent what? We don't sleep. We will do everything. If we gather together and start to tell our stories, everybody will be laughing. This is the effort we put in. So what effort can you put in to study, to learn? What effort then to go in with all pride? Like, yes, I wrote this exam myself. I took the exam, I wrote it myself. And I defend it anytime, anywhere. So I guess you it. You don't have to be the best, but you must be the honest best. If you are struggling academically, ask for help. If a friend knows mathematics or English, walk up to that person. Don't be shy. Be shy to learn. You may not have subject better than that person. Oh, let's sit together. Let's sit and let's discuss this one. When you are done, I will tell you what I know about myself. Don't study book. In fact, education is so interesting now with the internet. Anything you want to see, you will get it. You will read it, but who said what they do, follow practice. Use free learning platforms. Refer and practice past question paper. Past question paper. Refer today and study today. And try as much as possible to tell yourself that you have what it takes to be a good student. You have what it takes to go into examination. Write an exam without anybody assisting you. Thank you very much.
so much. Thank you. Please be seated. Once again, I want to thank Dr. Mrs. Veronica Obama for all that she has taught us today. The interactive class session that I believe lighted the class, right? We didn't have to sit. So when she was teaching, as it were, I was telling my colleague there that the teacher in her is jumping out so fast. Thank you so much, Mom. Thank you. Well, when I was here, there was what we call the drug-free club. The drug-free club. It was a club. Now, we would like to say this, and we say it as a matter of principle, that one of the ways to teach students came before me. Those that came late, in another edition, we hope that we will come first, right? We hope that we will come first, right? Thank you so much. We will now go to today. IT is a pathway to the future. Information technology, innovation, a pathway to the future. When we are here, people will say, when we are here, that lab you see there was like our second class. We're always there to learn to experiment. But coming out of the university, there is a new phenomenon, which is information technology. It governs the world now. So you can have Mark Zuckerberg sit somewhere and be one of the richest persons on earth. You can have the one who is spoiling with Donald Trump always, like what's his name? Elon Musk. Sit somewhere because of technology, is one of the richest persons. It is not beyond any one of you here to be one of the richest persons in the world tomorrow. That is one of the essence or purpose of this conference. And so, we want to invite one of our very best in innovation to talk to us. Engineer Professor Ofola Goswin is of the Department of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, Federal University of Petroleum Resources and Food. He is from EAD, Municipal Non-Local Government Area of Delta State. He is an automation, robotics, and renewable energy expert. A lecturer and entrepreneur with over 25 years of experience. He was employed by FUPRI in 2010. He was the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academics 2023 to 2025. He was the Dean of the College of Engineering and Technology 2020 to 2023. Member of the University Governing Council 2017 to 2025. He was the University Orator. Another University Orator. You know Professor Webber was the University Orator or is the University Orator. University Orator 2016 to 2024. The Dean of Students 2016 to 2020. And Head of Department of Electrical and Electronic Engineering 2010 to 2015. He was also the Chairman of ASU 2015 to 2016 and has served as Chairman and member of numerous FUPRI Development Committees. Followed by Goswin, the founder, Swilas Energy Limited, renewable energy company, and also founder, Renatics Engineering Solutions Limited. And I must mention this. The Federal University of Petroleum Resources and Food for so many years did not have a law backing it up, setting it up as a university. While I was in the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, once as a special advisor to the Deputy President of the Senate, and also before then, Dr. Ofola, then Dr. Professor, worked so hard with us to pass the FUPRI Establishment Act. So I would like you to especially clap for me. We remember all that you did there, all the sacrifices you made, and the eternally grateful to you. Thank you. Volaba holds a PhD in Power and Machines Engineering, Renewable Energy Options from the University of Benin. The research scholar, Renewable Energy, Wind and Solar, to Tennessee Technology University, USA, in 2009. He has a Master of Engineering in Power Systems and Bachelor of Engineering, Electrical and Electronic Engineering, 1999, from Enugu State University of Science and Technology, Enugu State. He also attended the prestigious Okotia Grammar School, Sapele. He is a current registered engineer at the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, registered engineer, a member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, and had 9 other professional societies, as where he also holds membership. He was instrumental to the Establishment Act of the University in 2017, which I've said, and has attracted key developmental projects and funds to the university. Among them is a project of 419 million for the construction of dedicated 30 kV line from Ugali Transmission Substation, including installation of 6 numbers 500 kV transformers. Doctor, your citation is long because you are thoroughly educated. You just want to come and speak to us. So please welcome Professor.
While he's taking his position, please do not lose focus. At this point in time, try to listen and take notes. Use this going forward.
While I wish to stand on well-established protocols, I would want to recognize, first of all, my Vice Chancellor, yesterday, Professor Ezekiel Agbalagba, as well as my mom, Dr. Veronica Ugwagu, and every member of the high table, speakers for today, that we all have the privilege to plant a seed on the young minds as initiated by class 88 of this school. First of all, too, I want to also thank my friend and brother, Ifeduku, for nominating me to also speak in this program, conference. Innovate to lead. Today, you have been charged to see the reason why you should start thinking to become the future leaders of tomorrow. But today, we want to discuss especially on how well we can sit down and think to innovate to lead. So there are 3 areas we're going to look at. 1, we want to look at green energy. 2, we also want to look at smart technologies. Then we'll sum it up by looking at emerging vision for the future. When you hear the word green energy, what comes to your mind? Why is it called green energy? Green gives us an impression of a natural environment. When we want to say that we want our environment to look green, we want it to look very close to nature. So when we look at green energy, we are looking at how can we use natural resources as a form of energy. So green energy, also called renewable energy, is using natural resources like the sun, like the wind, even from plants, as well as heat energy to generate electricity. Why do we look at this area at this time? There's a prediction that by 2050, life will go extinct. In essence, man cannot survive on this planet by 2050. So that calls for action. First of all, that is why we need to start thinking. We need to take actions to see what role, most especially at this your young age, to see that at 2050, the world does not go extinct. And in doing that, one of the causes why life goes extinct is because of the rate of pollution. Many of the actions we've taken today to generate electricity, both for vehicles, as well as generating electricity, pollutes the environment because it produces carbon monoxide. So actions for either generating electricity, as well as the type of vehicle we use today, must take actions to ensure that we reduce the pollution of the environment, which has caused depletion of the ozone layer. That is why we need to take action for sustainable future, because we have a role, and it has 3 major impacts. One of them is that we need to save the environment. 2, it has impact in our economy, because once we embrace these areas, of embracing renewable energy or green energy, we are going to create jobs. As well as this will also help us to see that we are able to apply social benefits. These social benefits could involve the way and manner we live our life, the type of jobs that are created for renewable energy. Now, I want to look at 6 main areas of renewable energy. One of it is solar energy, 2 is wind energy, 3 is hydropower systems, thermal energy, 5 biomass, and we'll conclude by looking at biomass. Now, this is a pictorial view of 6 areas I'm going to discuss today. The first one is solar energy, second is wind, hydro, geothermal, and biomass. So, solar energy. Many of us have seen solar panels. That's all. Good. How many of us are science students? So that I know how the lecture can go. Oh, about over 50%. In your biology, one of the energy plants received comes from where? The sun, which is called that same energy. What's so wonderful? And that energy is so enormous that we can also generate power. The photon, which is as a result of photosynthesis for plants, can be tapped. And this is made such that there's an element that you know, which are atoms, which is called silicon. Are you aware of silicon? Good for our science students. We said silicon is the group 4 element. Do you remember that? So the group 4 element is not ready to give or accept what? Electron. So what is done for me to start at solar energy, like silicon, is to see that some of these electrons that are not ready to be free, to do what is called doping. Just like at times, you see that some persons that spoke in our language, I want to go and talk, taking hard drugs. Also, I feel like that one. Taking something that is not, you are not supposed to take. In some instances, they believe that taking that to a site, you will do what is not, what we are not supposed to be able to do, which is unhuman many times. Like what we had now, that element, silicon, is gold. Because it's gold with either a defined element so that some of the electrons will not be free to flow. And as a science student, you know the flow of electron in the computer circuit. This what? This what? Correct. So for that silicon to gain an energy, right? The energy from the source is used to excite after being doped, excite that electron to flow in a complete what? Circuit. That circuit that is flowing is what you tap as an energy, electrical energy that will power your house. The advantages of solar energy, a lot of advantages. One of it is that it is durable. It is durable and can generate energy almost everywhere, including remote areas. One problem why many remote areas don't have electricity is because of the cost of extension of electricity area. You buy poles, you buy wires, you draw that power to that village. Many times it was billions of naira and dollars. Government at times say they don't have such money. But solar have the advantage, whereby you can mount the panels on top of the roof and use the generate electricity. It also operates silently as compared to the generators. The generators low. And it does not smoke like the generators low, it does not pollute the environment. It has no moving parts. The parts of solar systems are such that they can generate electricity through electronics. They invert the power coming from the solar panel, all right, which is direct current, and converts it alternating current that can power your homes. And they can easily be mounted on top of your roof. So you can get every day. That is about it. everything that has advantage also has disadvantage. Many times, if we look at the advantage, everybody will have to like it. Also, it's expensive. Upfront cost, the initial cost is high. It has a long-term cost, whereby over time, because you don't spend money in terms of maintenance, all right, because it's low at the long term. So the upfront cost is high. That is why it's expensive. Many solar panels need large surfaces. Most especially want to generate large power. You need large surfaces for the panel. So in areas where we don't have enough land to put the panels, you can see that is a challenge. Their performance can also be affected by weather conditions, like this rainy season, because it's an energy from the sun. When the weather is shady, you have limited energy from that. That is the disadvantage of solar. Then we look at wind energy. It's another source of natural energy. But in this instance, it comes from free-flowing wind that God has also blessed us with. Now, for the science students, I want to give you a simple principle for you to understand that the technology is not out of space. It's something that all of us can look at and innovate to see what we can do in terms of these areas. All of us must have seen magnets. Have you seen magnets? You've seen magnets. Also, there's a north pole and there's what? A south pole. Unlike charges do what? Attract. Also, like charges do what? Yeah. What is it? Now, we have one magnet at one end. I have the second magnet at the second end. The first magnet, one part of it is the north pole. The second magnet is the south pole. What will happen? They will try to attract. Also, so there's going to be what is called the magnetic flux between the north pole and what? South pole. All I need to do is to make sure that they don't come together. I will hold them in the position. All right? To make sure that the north pole and the south pole, in as much as they are attracted, there's going to be a magnetic flux that is linked between the north pole and what? South pole. That magnetic flux is the force we are going to look at to convert into electrical energy. Now, what happens? There's going to be a coil at the middle of that magnetic flux, conductor. If you have a conductor, all right, cable, at the center of that magnetic flux, all right, we can tap current from that. But according to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, it's only when there's a change of flux, current will be introduced in the conductor. Not so? You remember that? Now, what we need to do is to change that magnetic flux. That attraction between the north pole and the south pole, where there's a conductor at the middle, if I try to rotate that, I'm changing the magnetic flux. In so doing, in trying to oppose that change of magnetic flux, all right, current is now induced into the conductor. And that is what you have as current, as power. And that is the principle of wind energy. God has blessed us with free-flowing wind. All I need to do is to have the magnet, have the conductor. If I change that magnetic flux by rotating, all right, the blades that are attached to the magnets, for them to rotate, where there's a conductor, current will now be induced in the what? In the conductor. And that's how current is generated. Even your generator, when it's rotating, the same principle. All right? But for wind energy, the initiator here is using wind to rotate the blades, which is provided for energy to be generated. Now, these are examples of wind farms. Many turbines are connected together to generate power. In some cases, this power is sent to the grid to supply electricity to homes. Just like the same advantages of solar, wind also have that advantage. But it does not require fuel because the energy comes from natural resources. It produces no air pollution, just like solar. The energy used to build and install a wind turbine is recovered within a few months of what? Operation. Right? Because your running cost is close to what? Zero. Unlike when you are running conventional generators, you need to continue to buy fuel. Also, that running cost is not a wind energy. It's sustainable and it's eco-friendly. We help to save the environment when we use wind turbines. But there are disadvantages. Just like you need space for solar, wind also requires space when you want to install your turbines. Many a time, you need a lot of space, not called a wind farm. You install small wind turbines. You aggregate all the power together generated such that you can do that. Also, the noise produced from wind, when the wind turbines are rotating, all right, there's a particular type of noise. In many times, you cannot install wind turbines close to homes because it will be irritating and produce noise in such an environment. The initial cost of wind turbine too is also high, while the running cost is low. Another form of renewable energy is hydropower. This is one of the oldest type of energy. Now, it is power from water. The same principle. Just as you use the initiator for wind energy, for hydropower, what rotates your turbine, which is like the blades, all right, that is attached to the magnets, where the coil is at the middle, all right? You use water, all right, pressurized water, to now heat the turbine, you rotate, and current will now be induced in the coils, and electricity will also be generated. Advantages. Same advantages. It's clean energy because you do not pollute the environment. Doesn't require fuel. Same advantage as we say. It's highly reliable. For hydro, the energy that is generated from hydro is more sustainable. You know why? Because it does not depend on our weather condition. Like solar, you depend. At night, do you have sun? So you need to store your energy in batteries. Then the energy stored in batteries used to power your load throughout the night. But imagine that you want to power this full school, secondary school. Imagine the amount of batteries we need to install to go to do that. All right? That advantage we have with hydro. Because water, all right, our earth is covered by how many percentage of water? Over 70% of our earth. So water is available. But for hydro, many times we use our waterfall, our river banks, at times that the flow of water, we design dams so that there's going to be fall, all right, from a high altitude that will hit the turbine to rotate for electrical energy to the generator. That's advantages. Note that our rivers, our sea, our high sea are meant for aquatic animals, which we also depend on. Also, so if we go and install our hydropower there, it will also affect the aquatic life. That's a disadvantage. It also requires large areas of land for the generating plants that is going to convert the power after being generated and transmit to the grid. It takes some land space. The construction of dams have negative impact in our aquatic life, fish and other wildlife living within the river. And one disaster at times that comes with hydropower is when the dam fails. And we've seen that in some instances when there's an overflow, in some instances when the water level will rise. At times the rainfall will be more than predicted. All right? Those dams will not overflow. Buildings within that water flow will all be affected in some instances. So these are some of the disadvantages of hydropower. So thermal energy. Just like the name implies, so we are talking of the earth. Thermal, we are talking of temperature. It's producing electricity from the earth's temperature, heat from the earth. There are certain locations whereby if you drill down the earth, enormous heat is generated. That heat can be used to produce steam. Water will be heated, that produce steam, and we increase the flow. That steam, that force from the steam can be used to rotate turbines. And that same principle of generating electrical power will be observed. When you rotate that turbine, all right, because you're changing the magnetic flux, current will be used in the coil for electrical power to be generated. And that is the principle of thermal energy. Advantages is still almost close to what we said about wind as well as solar energy. And disadvantages are there too. The disadvantage because extracting the thermal energy requires building power plants to access deep underground, which involves high initial investment. So cost is involved. additional infrastructure, like transmission towers and power lines, stations are needed. Like the disadvantage we had, where we looked at the advantage solar had, the disadvantage is that when we want to connect power to villages, remote villages, we now need transmission lines to be connected. This cost is also high for the farmer. After generating the electricity, we need to transmit the energy to people, to users, and to provide the energy. Another form of renewable energy is biomass. And biomass is an energy from recently living organic material, like wood waste, like crop rescues, and from animal waste. Now, what happens is that this residue, when burned, all right, can also be used. Why do we classify things from wood, things from plant waste, or from animals as something that is renewable? The essence is that something that can be replaced, replenished, is renewable. While energy that cannot be replenished, all right, is not renewable. Fossil fuel cannot be easily replenished, and that's why it's not in the class of renewable. But biomass from plants, from natural sources like plants and others, are classified under renewable because you can always plant more plants that will also produce the raw materials for biomass. Although burning of the materials will also pollute the environment, but it's also classified under renewable energy because you can only replenish the power. That's advantage. Biomass is renewable and virtually limited source of fuel, as organic materials are constantly being what? Produced. Now, some of the waste materials that we use for biomass, all right, are things that we are supposed to throw away. And because they are waste, they will also help us to regenerate. So we help us to also dispose our waste to usable materials. That is why it has an advantage of converting those waste to things that can also form energy that we can use. So it helps us to free our land space, all right, for those waste that we can harvest. Disadvantage at times, because of money, crops, agricultural products that are byproducts of biomass. At times, if there are no laws regulating the usage of some of these plants, this month is depending on food crops, which is dangerous. The other one is depending on plants, but that are not food crops. Many mistakes for biofuel plants that are not food crops and be converted energy. There are advantages, environmental friendly, like solar array. They are safer to lower health risk. Using biofuels can help reduce greenhouse gases emissions, contribute to fight against global warming. There are many disadvantages of biofuels. position of food chain. If not well regulated, people who want to live because of food will make more money or buy fuel. As such, you also deploy for another challenge of producing the required amount of food that will sustain life. The other part of what we also discuss is smart technology. Smart technology. When you get what? Smart. What comes to your mind? What comes to your mind? Yeah? Give examples of smart technology. What comes to your mind when you say, what is somebody smart? What do we mean? Let's break it down. Fasting innovation. Thank you very much. That's a lot of time. I'm going to speak. Trying to make things easier. Right? Applying innovation, technology that will make things easier. Most especially when they have that things that automate processes. Instead of things to work manually that needs humans to be part of it, we can automate those processes so that they can be smart by being automatic. Those things are common by other smart technology. Also, connectivity. There's one technology around that that's called IoT, Internet of what? Things. Whereby by connectivity, all right, from your home, you can control, even when you're not your home, you can control machines. And that's actually what? Smart. You can also see whatever that's happening. All right? So wherever you are, so the same things are smart when it has what? Connectivity. Also say things are smart when they are intelligent. They are intelligent because they can process information and also take decisions. Take the best decision as programmed in those systems. And that is the classification of robotics. Thereby, you make things act in a particular way and take the best decision as what? Programmed. That means they are intelligent as if they can think. Class and smart. Like the examples I mentioned, your home can be made smart, and you have knowledge control of that. And people your control. Also, you have smart farms. Whether your irrigation system can become smart, like the way I manage you spray water into your crop. We can also have smart meters for electricity, whereby one meter can connect number of roads just using one meter. And also, you also be able to give energy from that meter to those that don't have. That's also have intelligence. That's just like the example of intelligence. Whereby you have some of these in our phone. Some phone, especially those using iPhone, you see at times, you can just use the voice message to tell your phone to do some particular function. Are you aware of that? Fine. Those are artificial intelligence. Those are smart technology. What are smart grids? Smart grids are grids that basically, many times like kind of grid we use, we tend to estimate the amount of power that's needed. All right? And if the users are not using the amount of power that is estimated, there's waste. Because you are spending more money to generate that type of power. But when it comes to smart grid, you only generate what's needed. Immediately you are putting on your load, you want to read and monitor the amount of power that you need. And the generator will be automated to generate only the power that is there needed. That is the part of that smart grid. We also have smart power inverter. You can monitor everything happening in your house from your phone when you have a smart inverter. Right? You can also control the usage of those inverters in your home if you have inverters in your home. You also have real-time monitoring for how to use hybrids. That has to do with the system and also with using smart inverter. Now, what is the magic vision for the future for you? From the areas we look at green energy, renewable energy, as well as smart technology. We are looking at the next generator
solar technology. Now, solar technology has come to stay. The type of solar panels we use these days, the stations are going up to ensure that we reduce the sizes of the panels, but also for these panels to produce, we have higher efficiency and produce higher power from this panel. And that class is under Biosity solar cell. These cells are 30% panels and are cheaper than traditional silicon cells with higher potential efficiency. Research is ongoing. So that is the magic efficient contribution. Also have 10 solar cells. These are stacked layers of different materials that will capture more of the solar spectrum and it has a better efficiency than the traditional solar panels. We are also looking at solar pens that you can use for your walls and windows. Now, we are also looking at spaces. And when you want to generate higher power, you need large space, either on your roof or your land space. Now, research is also looking at using paint. Now, materials you can use to paint your wall, paint your glasses, your windows. These can also generate energy. This is an mapping vision on vision. We also have advanced energy storage. One of the challenges we have for solar energy is storage, which are the batteries. Like I said earlier, there are a lot of batteries we need to generate higher amount of power for like an industry or a big school like this. It's enormous. As such, it is not sustainable. The cost will be too high. That is why another emerging vision for the future is to produce batteries that are smaller in sizes but that can no higher power. And that is great. And that is one of it is solid state batteries. This type of batteries are safer, more plastic, and are more efficient. Another type of battery that is emerging technology for the future is flow batteries. These are ideal for large-scale grid storage due to scalability of this battery. Another technology for the future is using compressed air. You see, the principle of generating electricity, you see it. If we can initiate our turbine to rotate, all right, we can induce current into a conductor. Also, we can have compressed air, all right, that we have around us, so that this can also act as a force that we now heat a rotating turbine, all right, to generate electrical power. That is another emerging technology of visual. What the future look like? We have also have smart wind turbine. We have artificial intelligence and IoT in energy systems of grids as well as predictive maintenance. One of the challenges we have, especially in Nigeria, we wait for things to fail before we take action to maintain them. But now, with the help of artificial intelligence and IoT, we can have predictive maintenance. Hereby, we can see that in 6 months, in 1 year, that particular equipment will fail. As such, we will take action to ensure that the equipment will not fail before we take action. We also have one emerging technology, which is green hydrogen production. Now, I will explain this a little. Hydrogen is a source of energy. Let's take water, for instance. The formula for water is H2O, also. So we have hydrogen. Now, hydrogen, oxygen is not a pollutant to the environment. But if we separate oxygen from hydrogen, hydrogen is a form of energy. It has electrons and ions in them that we can ensure that they flow in a complete circle and will give current. So in the future, we are looking at green hydrogen production for energy generation using electrolysis that will separate oxygen from hydrogen and using the hydrogen as a form of energy. This energy can be used for cars, to drive cars, as well as for generators to generate energy. And that's one of the class of hydrogen fuel that can provide backups as a form of energy for both our cars and for our grid system. We also have waste to energy. You can convert from waste, animal waste, plant waste,
to energy. This is also going through research. So it's also an elementary technology contribution, and young ones like you should also be. We also have enhanced geothermal system. Now, not everywhere we have energy heat from the earth, but research has shown that depending on the depth you want to go underground, you can also tap energy. So research is ongoing to see how well you can drill deep to see that we can tap geothermal energy from any other places as compared to what we are looking at. Also looking at the specialized microgrid, you can use solar and wind energy as a form of energy to decentralize our grid. We're also looking at ways whereby wind turbine, there are possibilities whereby we can have floating panels. Because of land space, we can use our water ways to have floating panels, solar panels that can also generate energy. So I mentioned technology for the future. Now, let's look at some simple cases, simple case studies and success stories. I want to tell you my own story. I've innovated in a research where I use water as a form of energy. And that project is titled Development of 50 kilowatts pressurized water breathing micro-turbine electric power generator, which is titled PS2J for domestic and industrial generator. Now, I'm into solar energy, for instance. I have a company that's into solar energy. We have a challenge. Some of the jobs we usually get from banks, in some cases, from hotels. We see that the amount of batteries we need to power their ACs is not sustainable. Because you need to put a lot of batteries together to be able to generate the balance type of power for places like hotels. I started doing. And what I did, if I apply the principle I have explained, your tanks, the water tanks you need at home, the domestic tank. What I did in this research, which I got in a sponsorship from NCMB, the Grant Content and Development and Work Going On, they gave me like 2.4 million for this research. We are not doing the minimum viable producer. It's quite viable and the sponsor is. We saw this challenge in Nigeria, whereby we have like 4.5 million Nigerians in the last 30 power. Also, 18 million Nigerians have no access to power at all. Also, more than 2 million Nigerians they use fossil fuel, which pollute the environment as a form of generating alternative power to power their home. This is the challenge, and this is my goal. Now, at the development that will give you steady power, affordable cost, and also is like for this, you see this in my item. The water will flow through your stack. Alright? You get into my generator. This water is pressurized. So that we now have a force. That force, if you hit the turbine, and that principle I told you, when the turbine rotates, and there's a magnetic flux, and there is a change of magnetic flux because of that change of magnetic flux, current will reduce in the conductor also, and that is the principle applied. And electrical energy will be reduced. But I also use something. The water that I use will go to an underground tank. And this underground tank, water will also be sent back to the reactor, and the power is continued. Because of the challenge that comes with weather conditions as we have for solar energy and what? Wind energy. Is this not innovative? Now, one challenge I mentioned is that we have challenges with our farms. Many of our farms are analog generation. There are two key things that are needed in farms. And one of them, the two key things are water and electricity. Not so? Because of the location of many of these farms, the areas where the cost of extending power to these farms is so high. So they apply through the method many times in their farming to ensure that their crops grow well. One of the key things we need to put in irrigation for our farms and apply the other technology to another technology called micro hydro power automated irrigation system. What is it? All these products have patents. That means it's an idea that is not existing. And I'm waiting and I have a certificate to show you my idea that no other person can just copy it. Alright? Exactly what I've done. So I have patents. Like first one, this one also have a patent. That's not existing. It's my idea. I innovated to solve the problem. And when they search, no other person has copied it. So they gave me a certificate and the first person I innovated inside it. the problem I mentioned, what I mentioned before, I think it's technology. Simply put, I will generate electricity based on the first division. All right? Now, what is the problem of our farmers? We need to give the quantity of water that each crop needs. Crops need different quantity of water. All I need to do, I need to be able to have the data for each type of crop. So my farm, I can partition my farm to different segments. If I partition my farm, and from that data, I will give water. Or to make the process, that will give water, I will sense the humidity of the soil, the wetness of the soil. And when the soil is getting dry, all right, I have sprinklers, I have sensors, all right, these are water. I have sprinklers already. I have power from my water. Also, you have my first technology, all right, I have electrical energy, all right, the electrical electricity. Now, that electricity is going to tap to my sensors, all right, that will automate the sprinklers to sprinkle the entire amount of water that is needed for each soil that already has the data. And that is my innovation. And I have a patent for it. Now, many of us have heard of electric vehicle. When electric vehicle, a lot of people are investing. When I look at Nigeria, I found that Nigeria, it is difficult for electric vehicle to actually be sustainable. Why? We've not been able to generate the kind of electricity we need. Now, for electric vehicle to function, we need charging stations. Do you know that? Electric vehicle is more of electric cars, batteries that will power cars. So what it means is that just like your phone that you need to charge the battery, you need to, after you have driven your vehicle for a while, you need to have a station, all right, built around the country to ensure that these batteries are what? Are charged. It's not sustainable. Because we not been able to generate the right power that will power the companies. So what did I do? I observed from my knowledge of wind energy. If your motor, your vehicle is moving, what is it moving against? It's moving against you. That's all. It's moving against you. And you know, like for wind turbines, the wind turbine is going for flowing wind. Which at times, it's not moving on. But the vehicle is moving against me. So what I did, okay, this is skeleton of man. Alright? Not as you have your target. Alright? You are going to have plates that are designed in a way of a capsule that will not cause friction in the flow of this air. That as your vehicle is moving, alright, as the turbine is rotating, electrical power is what? That electrical power is used in two ways. Because sometimes you will be in traffic. Also, there is not electric power. So there's a main battery, there's a backup battery. So the main battery will be running. While when you are moving, it is charging the backup battery. And automatically, once it sets that first main battery has moved to a minimal level, that will not be able to run the switch automatically the backup battery. Why that main battery is going to what? Charging when the vehicle is moving. And that's other wind electric number of I get it right. For many years, for about 24 years now, products in the market. These are my products. The stock Sweden. Sweden have been existing for the last 24 years, and this is my inverters. Alright? I competed. Immediately I graduated, I wasn't looking for a job. Alright? I went into research and produced my own product, which is called Sweden inverters. I produced my inverters and also sell my inverters, and that's what I'm doing till tomorrow. Now, the able to produce from 1 kVA to 20 kVA commercially pure sine wave inverters. In 2012, as well as 2012, I won this award, the best in alternative energy in 2012, from African Product Award in product design, installation, and maintenance by Institute of Government Research and Leadership Work. This is established by government. Alright? It's established by CAP, 438 Law of Federal Republic of Nigeria. The funny thing was they looked at who in Nigeria is actually encouraging renewable energy. I never knew they picked my product. They came, they bought my product. Alright? They picked other products in African countries. And they now tested that my inverters August, and I won the Best African Product Award in 2020. This is the picture. I want to give you a story that is too far. I need to call names that you never saw. I won the award from NCC, Nigerian Competition Commission. We developed a goal. Sometime in 2018, I saw a news. I was watching television. I saw a news where the governor there was wicked. He said people are dying in River State. Why? Because of suits. People when I was illegal, they were burning fuel, bunkering, yes, bunkering at that time. So the process of trying to find the crew, all right, they were suits. A lot of people died. So what the government did that time was to use military personnel to ensure that they get this person. But I ask myself, can't we do something? Before people will die, we're going to detect that yes, our air is polluted, and we can give an alarm, all right, to ensure that people are evacuated from that area. Or we have a level, all right, that we will know that before it gets to that point where we are evacuating people, we want people to go to those areas and first stop pollution. So I invented which Nigerian Commission saw. I will wait for a competition. Yeah, we are finding this company award. And it's titled Automated Air Quality Monitoring and Reporting System using environmental tools. What I did simply put is, I have a goal. Because your particular gases moves. I cannot have sensors in a particular location. That means if I want to have sensors in a particular location, I'll have too many sensors. So what I did, I got a drone. Alright? We build a drone and put sensors. These sensors will be able to sense the polluting gases, which are concentrated ammonia gas, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, and particulate matter. These are gases that we know that can come from food. All these sensors are placed on the drone will move and transmit in every second. Alright? The air quality index. That air quality index is that this quality of air, alright? This index is showing that life is safe. This index is showing that no, at this point in time, alright, if you go beyond this, alright, it can cause death. This can cause this different type of sickness. Which basically I got 13.4 million. This is the drone. This is myself. What is the drone? Now, another thing I did, at the point in time, alright, we are crying that our oil pipelines are being alive. And the only method that government is applying is using military personnel in some instances that are also part of an election of pipeline as been investigated. Now, what I did, I also designed an intelligence system that can monitor pipelines, and which I call an automated oil and gas pipeline evaluation system. Now, it also advocated, and this one SCME. SCME is the organization formed by government to encourage local content in Nigeria, to ensure that local content are encouraged, and if local content is there, foreign products do not come in. And I won SCME grant award of 2.4 million for this particular research. So this is the product, and this is how it works. It's a sensor. The sensor, even you are aware that it's there, it's underneath the earth. So for you, the sensor senses vibration of the earth, so that you must dig, all right, before you get to pipeline. 93% of our pipelines are buried assets. So therefore, for you to validate the pipeline, you need to dig, assess the pipeline, all right, drill a hole on it, and you soup the truth from there. So because of that, our sensors, all right, that are called seismic sensors, they sense the vibration of the earth. The sensors are so configured that all of them see themselves. They are going to respond and they need the earth, all right, across the pipeline. In any position where you try to dig to assess the pipeline, immediately we see the signal giving the exact location where that digging is taking place. And this has been ranked nationally. And I was given a grant by SCME, verified by SCME, and I won the award of 2.4 million. product. This is where we collaborate testing. And this is where SPM is giving me award. These are the certificates about myself. We won 3 awards. These are my test team. You look at all the names in my team. These are my test team. My team won 3 products that year. 2023. All my innovations, 3 of us, we won SPM award. This time it was direct. And more. Not because of that. Why am I showing you this? Innovation is not rocket science. Innovation simply means changing a particular situation by thinking of a better way to make it better. Are you following? Nigeria has enormous challenges. And because Nigeria has you have a lot of people especially on your world like we are in an age where technology drives leadership. Today, by forcing innovation to lead, you must look into your future. Yes, when we talk of leadership, many people tend to think that I want to become a governor. It's good to become a governor. I want to become a president. I want to become a senator. It's not so good. But every of such leadership is tenure-based. 2 of us. You can be a governor today. After 4 years, we need to continue to be a governor. They are candidates. So if you are planning your future, what can you do to ensure that you continue to live? In terms of innovating, in terms of what you bring to innovate, to change the status quo. And that you can do by sitting down, looking at our challenges. You will see that many of the innovations I have to see. These are existing technology. But what I did was to change the way they work. Innovated a change to ensure they solve our problem. I brought something new for them to work in differently. And that you can do. Look into the future. Sit back, think, and see how you can innovate to ensure that you bring new ideas that will shape your future permanently. Now, many times you tell yourself, oh, I want to work in the oil and gas industry. Who owns the oil and gas industry? Is it an experience? Hello? An experience? So why not sit to say, I want to own and live in the oil and gas industry? That is your goal. I want to work and receive pay in such a way that I can solve my problem. Can't you be that employer of labor by innovating a new idea that can employ people? That is innovating to what? To live. So you must think in a different way. In terms of what we have to solve, we need to look at green energy. Green energy that is renewable. What we need to look at smart technology that will make it easier for us to be able to do things. We also need to look at the future and look at something that's permanent. Something that is permanent. We're not talking of political power. We're talking of innovating to live permanent. Alright? So we need to think. From now on, start thinking. Because it depends on you to shape your future. A better future depends on what you do today. Stay curious. Stay big. Stay what? Smart. Thank you. The future is smart. Thank you. Please be seated. Have you been inspired today? Have you been inspired? So thank you. On behalf of all these students, and indeed everybody in the world, thank you so much for adding another layer of value to what we already have. Talking about green energy, smart technology, and innovation, and personal story of innovation. The things that you have been able to achieve to inspire you. For those of us in science, we are probably the most benefited most from this talk, right? Those who are in art, those who
have patents, you need the services of lawyers, right? So as somebody who is planning to be a lawyer, you also have to stake in this conversation. Now, if they say you want to be in art, that is for in drama, you also have a stake in this conversation. Because you can write inside stories, drama, or what is happening to the environment. If you want to be a storyteller, you want to be an author, you can write stories about the environment, you can write stories about information. So everybody has one to have. So, over time, Professor Mahola, all of them, now, we will now take 10 minutes break. 10 minutes break to allow us some food. There is enough food for everybody. Thereafter, the expected will not be listening to the Vice Chancellor of food. Only for that come to us. Then we will go to God. Thank you so much. I want to have everybody done. But 10 minutes for us. Thank you so much.
Let's go around. And these students who are interacting, please lend me your ears. In the year 1986, an artist by the name of Whitney Houston wrote a song that took the world by storm. She was referred to as America's sweetheart. Unfortunately, my generation, our generation, benefited so much from her song. I want you to use Google to Google the lyrics of this song. It's called The Greatest Love of All. The first stanza reads, I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride. Let the children's laughter remind us what it used to be. You see, all these have been put together by class of 1988.